Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari. Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari. Suranandana Matajanna Ranjana. Yasoranandana Matajanna Ranjana. Yamna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Mr. Padmanamangsa Prabhujakacharya, Astadhasa Sri Srimada's Divine Grace, the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Kota Vaishnavani ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Prem se Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sharmakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Jai, Sri Vrindavan ki Jai, Shri Maya Panavidam ki Jai, Ganga Maya ki Jai, Jamuna Maya ki Jai, Tulsi Devi ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Somaveda Bhaktimani ki Jai, Transcendental Bhakti Distribution ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Go Premanandi. All glory some devotees, all glory some devotees, all glory some devotees, all glories, Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we're reading from srimadbhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text number 11. Samudrim Devadevoktam Upayeme Satadrutim Yang Viksya Charu Sarvangrim Kishorim Shushu Alankritam Parikramantim Udvahe Chakrame Agni Shukim Iva Samudrim Deva Devoktam Upayeme Siddhadritim Yang Viksya Charus Harvangim Kishorin Shuspalham Vitam Parikramantim Udvahe Chakamegni Shukim Iva Samudrim Deva Devoktam Upayeme Siddhadritim Yang Viksya Charu Sarvagim Kisharim Shushva Lankritam Parikranantim Udvahe Chakhameni Shukim Iva Samudrim Deva Devaktam Upayeme Siddhadritim Yang Viksya Charu Sarvangam Gim Kisarim Shushvalam Kritam Parikramantim Udvahe Chakamegni Shukim Iva Samudrim Deva Devoktam Mayeme Siddhadritim Parikramantim Udvahe Chakamegni Shukim Iva Samudrim Deva Devoktam Upayeme Siddhadritim Yang Viksya Charu Sarvagni Kisharim Susalankritam Parikramantim Udvahe Chakamegni Shukim Iva Samudrim unto the daughter of the ocean. Deva Deva Uktam, being advised by the Supreme Demigod, Lord Brahma, Upayeme, married, Shatadrutim, of the name Shatadruti, Yam, whom, Viksha, seen, Charu, very attractive, the sarva angim, all the features of the body, kishorim, youthful, shushtu, sufficiently, alankutam, decorated with ornaments, parikramantim, circumambulating, udvahe, in the marriage ceremony, chakame, being attracted, Agni, the fire god, Sukim, unto Suki, Eva, like. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Maharaj Parikshit, henceforth known as Prachinabarhi, was ordered by the supreme demigod Lord Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful, and she was very young. She was decorated with the proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company, exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki. Purport. In this verse, the word Shus Varankutam is significant. According to the Vedic system, when a girl is married, she is very profusely and gorgeously decorated with costly saris and jewelry. And during the marriage ceremony, the bride circumambulates the bridegroom 7 times. After this, the bridegroom and bride look at one another and become attracted for life. When the bridegroom finds the bride very beautiful, the attraction between them immediately becomes very strong, very strongly fixed. As stated in the srimadbhagavatam, men and women are naturally attracted to one another, and when they are united by marriage, that attraction becomes very strong. Being so strongly attracted, the bridegroom attempts to set up a nice homestead and eventually a good field for producing grains. Then children come, then friends, then wealth. In this way, the male becomes more and more entangled in the material conception of life, and he begins to think, this is mine, and it is I who am acting. In this way, the illusion of material existence is perpetuated. The words Shukim, Eva, are also significant, for the fire god Agni became attracted by the beauty of Shatadruti while she was circumambulating the bridegroom Prachinabarhi, just as he had previously been attracted to the beauty of Suki, the wife of Saptarishi. When the fire god had been present long ago at the assembly of Saptarishi, he was attracted by the beauty of Shuki, when she was circumambulating in the same way. Agni's wife, named Svaha, took the form of Shuki and enjoyed sex life with Agni. Not only the fire god, but the heavenly god Indra, and sometimes even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, all very highly situated demigods, are subject to being attracted by sex at any time. The sex drive is so strong in the living entities that the whole material world is running on sex attraction only. And it is due to sex attraction that one remains in the material world and is obliged to accept different types of bodies. The attraction of sex life is more clearly explained in the next verse. Om Jnanatavanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Malitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Krotavachalam Pongulam Haite Gurim Yat Kripa Taraham Bande Shigurum Dinadaranam. Vanchakalpachubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the West, people would be appalled by this. Marriages being arranged by someone else. And the standard is that the man and wife, husband and wife, they don't see each other until that marriage day, after he circumambulates her. Or if she circumambulates him, then they look at each other for the first time, right? You can't imagine that in the West. In the West, it's marry the woman you love. In India, it's love the woman you marry. It's a gradual process. But it's interesting that in the West, the divorce rate is so high. Yeah. America's in the top 10. I think the worst one is in Belgium, like 73% divorce rate. But the lowest divorce rate in the world, anybody know? India. Less than 1%. So, there's something to be said there. Still, marriages are arranged, of course not as much as it used to be. Now the Western influence is moving in, therefore there's also divorce now. Even many of our devotees, not Western devotees, but Indian devotees, their marriages are arranged. Also, right here. So, and it's not, actually if you think about it, it's not that far out. Just like I have a lot of affection from my mother, but I didn't choose my mother. Right? And we may have brothers and sisters that we have affection for, but we didn't choose them. They just became part of our family. Yeah. Kind of interesting. Huh? Nobody chooses who their mother is going to be or who their father is going to be. Especially in India, there's so much affection from mother and father. Here in America or the West, it's not so much. We have a tendency to rebel. But especially in India, the mother and father, isn't it? So much respect for the mother. No one chooses their mother and father. And also the brothers and sisters, even the cousin. Cousin brother, cousin sister. In America, we don't have such a thing, cousin brother. No such thing as a cousin brother, but they're like brothers, or cousin sisters, like sisters, just to be a part of the uncle's sibling or daughter or son. So it's a little different. Cultures are quite different, but you could see how the family ties they last. In this verse, we're hearing how Lord Brahma, he's the one that arranged this marriage, and it wasn't just they wouldn't just pick anyone. There's an astrological system by which they could understand the nature of the boy, the nature of the girl, and this way they could see who would be able to match. So it wasn't just random. Here in the West, if she looks good, she'll be a good wife. Or if he looks handsome, I think I can stay with him, because if it's a handsome man, that makes her look better. If it's an attractive lady, that makes him look better. So it's all just external. It's external. Who will make each of them look better. So it's kind of weak. And what it is mostly in Vaishnava relationships, it's duty. It's duty. In the West, it's just all about sense gratification. If this person satisfies my senses, all right, we can carry on, we can go on. But as soon as he doesn't satisfy her senses, or she doesn't satisfy, all right, divorce. It's all about sense gratification. Yeah. But India, the culture of India, it's all about duty. They have a duty to perform. Raising the children. Actually, there's a statement: Guru na sasyat, sujino na sasyat, pita na sasyat, sujini na sasyat. That if one cannot deliver one's dependents, one should not become a guru, one should not become a father, one should not become a husband, one should not become a mother. So it's a big responsibility, it's a big duty, it's a huge duty to enter into household life. You have to deliver your wife from the repetition of birth and death. The children have to deliver them from the repetition of birth and death. And this is Kali Yuga. So it's so difficult to become so qualified as to enter into the kingdom of God, to be delivered from the repetition of birth and death. And the biggest obstacle is, as Prabhupada mentions here in the purport, is this sex attraction. This is what binds the living entity to this material world. And Prabhupada mentions this very famous verse. He doesn't mention the Sanskrit, but he says, Pungsakstraya maituni bhav metam tayor mito grantama otog setu satapti vitar janasya moho yam mahamamedi. This is spoken, I believe, by Lord Rishabhdev, 5th canto. That the basic principle of material existence is this attraction between male and female. And on the basis of this attraction, one becomes very attached to land, to relatives, to money, to children. In this way, one's attachment increases and thinks in terms of I and mine. So this is the main attachment to this material world. I was kind of funny. It always happens to the monks, I was distributing books in one university, and there was a couple of ladies at the table talking, and somehow the sex subject comes up, and one of them says, "Well, why does it feel so good?" And I said, "Well, if it didn't feel so good, then you may not have children." Yeah, good point. Because raising children is a huge chore and very expensive. Anybody have any idea how expensive it is to raise a child? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, average about 230,000, something like that. One child. Almost $250,000. Expensive. Those little cute guys are they're expensive. And yeah, it's not easy raising a child. It's very, very difficult. First, you have to be of good character yourself. You have to be pretty selfless. I remember one friend of mine. He was at some program, some public program, but maybe it was Rath Yatra, and he was joking. He said, "Come and get your free teddy bear. Come and get your free teddy bear." And a lady comes over. She says, "Where's the free teddy bear?" And he had his son there, a 2-year-old son. "Here he is." He said, No. I've had enough of those." She was joking to it. He said, now I'm going to live my own life. But it is, when you're raising children, you have to become so selfless. You're living for your family. You can't live your own life. So she said, no, I want to live my own life now. I've been through all that. He had 3 or 4 kids or something. So it takes a lot, to raise a child. So therefore, that pleasure is there. Doesn't last long. Like there was one devotee, I don't know if I mentioned this here, but there was one devotee, he joined the movement and he had never had sex before. Then at one point he decided to get married and had sex, to have a Krishna conscious child, did the whole thing, 50 rounds. Yeah. But then after sex he said, that's it? That's it? That's what they're all talking about? That's nothing compared to a good kirtan. He was disappointed. So it's a little bit overrated. So, this is one of the main attractions and what keeps us bound to this material world. And Krishna, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Machchita sarvadagani mad prasada turishasi atachatang ahankaram nashoshasi vanakshasi. He says, if you become conscious of me, you'll cross over all these obstacles on your path to pure devotional service. If, however, you act out of false ego, not hearing me, then you'll be lost. So this is the main obstacle. Although it's overrated, this is the main obstacle in the material world, this sex attraction. But if we become conscious of Krishna, then we can overcome this. This is it's kind of like a poison that is entered into the very being of the soul. But this can be removed. Just like we heard this morning, Dravida was saying how we get these medicinal doses. Hearing srimadbhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna, these are medicinal doses that purify us of these material desires. This is the potency of Krishna that we eventually get purified by taking this medicine. And these material desires or this material sense gratification, it's arranged in such a way by Krishna that there is some pleasure, but there's also suffering. Therefore it's stated, Lada Tapakari. Whatever one tries to enjoy in this world, that very thing we're trying to enjoy becomes a source of misery. And therefore, in marriage life, there's so much domestic violence. I heard recently that because of this COVID-19, domestic violence has increased because now, they're locked in. They got to be with each other. Like I have a sister. She's a nice lady, and she has a nice husband. He retired a few years ago, and she thought, all right, now I got to get a job because we can't stay together all day long, 24/7. It's not going to work. So she went out and got a job. When two people are together, all day, eventually, you kind of get on each other's nerves. Domestic violence increased. Divorce increased. Just in this 3-month period, it's increased. So there's happiness there, but along with that happiness, distress is sure to come. But if we just devote ourselves to the service of Krishna, then we experience the happiness of devotional service. There'll be some distress also, because that's the nature of this world. Dukkaliyam shastadam, it's a place for suffering. But if we devote ourselves to the service of Krishna, then the austerity or the pain is also, it's good. Therefore the wealth of the Brahmanas is austerity. It's difficult, but it's good. It's purifying. And our household life also, it's purifying. Yeah, one gets purified because one has to experience difficulty. You have to be tolerant. One householder told me that actually household life is mostly about being tolerant. You have to be tolerant. Of course, in the beginning there's the honeymoon, which is nice and cool, but then eventually you get to know each other very well, and then you got the material nature that you have to deal with. The miseries coming from other living entities, and misery coming from nature, and our own mind and body. Just like each of us were struggling with our mind. It's so difficult to always think of Krishna, to be Krishna conscious, because of the material nature. So now you have another mind that you're dealing with, and you have children, you have more minds. So it just as it's not easy to deal with our own mind, the more mind you have to deal with, the more difficult. It's like we have to tolerate our own mind also. Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said the mind is a non-devotee, so we got to tolerate our mind. And you got more minds you got to tolerate. So it's a lot about tolerance. So here we're hearing how Agni, he became attracted to this attractive lady. And it's stated in the Bhagavad Gita, while contemplating the object of the senses, one develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger. From anger, bewilderment of memory. When the memory is bewildered, the intelligence is lost. And when the intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So he lost control. And it's apparently from this purport we see that this isn't the first time. So this lust it's actually the greatest enemy of the soul, as Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Avartum jnanam etena jnanino nityavaya kamarupena gondaya tusprena nalenacha. The wise living entity's pure consciousness is covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Now we have Agni here. He's the demigod of fire, and he's becoming overcome by this very powerful fire. Now, why is lust compared to fire? Fire is a very destructive force. It's actually the most destructive. Fire, it destroys everything, practically. It can't destroy the soul, of course. Anything material, it can destroy. It's very powerful. So lust is like that. It can destroy one's devotion. And therefore we see within our society so many people have come and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God, engaged in devotional service, doing so much service, but then they become distracted and pulled away. And mostly it's because of lust, just like we have these four regular principles. We never hear of anybody just losing control and having to go out and gamble. Right? You ever hear that? I haven't heard of that. No? Gambling? No. How about intoxication? Sometimes it happens that devotees that previously they had this bad habit of intoxication, so they again get involved. That very rarely. Do we ever hear of anybody losing control and having to go out and eat meat again? Huh? I never heard of it. Although I have heard of one devotee that left and he ate meat again.
One story about your grandson.
Oh yeah? Uh-huh. Or tell me later. But lust, God, even half, not half now, Vijaya Swami told me, in the previous year, it was half of our sannyasis have fallen away. Only because of lust. Yeah. So this is a very powerful, burning force, like fire. But if we get a higher taste, then it's possible. Just like we have sannyasis now that join the movement, 20 years old, 22, and they've in the movement for some of them 50 years. Jayaveta Swami, Jayapataka Swami. I mean, it is possible. It is possible, but it's rare. And we have the Dhananivas in Mayapur. And so it's possible. Somehow by the mercy of Krishna, I'm still brahmachari. And it's a nice life, actually. We just devote ourselves to serving Krishna. It's a nice life. So the sex desire is so powerful that not only is it mentioned here Agni, but Lord Brahma himself, he became attracted to his own daughter. This was the beginning of incest. Yeah. Mukunda Maharaj, who previously he was the communications ministry, he said, in America, 7 out of 10 fathers engage in some type of incest with their daughters, whether actually gross sex or fondling, or just subtle something. 7 out of 10, and it began with Lord Brahma. So I was mentioning this to one householder, and he has 2 sons, and I was thinking, good thing I didn't have any daughters. Because if you think about it, they grow up and they're, cute little kids, and then they're, 10 years old and they're still cute little kids, and 12 years old, still cute little kids, but then they start gradually turn into women. They become attractive women. Some of them become very attractive women. And they're treating their father still like their dear daddy. And they come and they get close and hug, and they're still thinking, I'm just the daughter of my wonderful father. But now it's not a cute little girl anymore, it's a beautiful woman embracing me, and they just, their mind just kind of goes off. You can see how that can gradually happen. So that danger is there also. Lord Shiva. Of course, this is an unusual pastime with Lord Shiva. And who? Mohini Murti. Yeah. He became attracted to, you can't imagine how attractive Krishna is in incarnation. This Mohini Murti. So he became so attracted, he went running after her. As described, he passed Semina also. Yeah. So therefore we have to be very very careful and try to think of Krishna as much as we can. The more we think of Krishna, the more we get purified. Now, thoughts will come. Thoughts of material desire, sex desire will come. But they'll go. It's stated, Yanmaitanadi kriyamedi hutam Yanmaitanadi kriyamedi sakami tuchtam kanduya ena kaviyora padukadudam Trapyanti neha kripana bahudukha bhaja kandutavan malasajan visaheta dira. That the sex life is compared to the rubbing of 2 hands together to relieve an itch. Just like you get an itch, And you tolerate it, and it goes away. Do you guys get mosquitoes here in the summertime? Yeah? No. He says yes, he says no.
Not a lot. Maybe a few.
Yeah. I noticed in LA too. For years we never saw mosquitoes. They're coming now. They're coming to California. But you get a mosquito bite and it itches. Now if you scratch it, it gets worse. Right? To the point, I know in Miami, I used to live in Miami, I was there for 12 years. Oh God, there's tons of mosquitoes. Tell you, I don't miss those mosquitoes. They're just like unbelievable. They'll carry you away. There's just so many mosquitoes. And I remember there was one devotee, his feet just got, he was just like bitten alive, and he was scratching. And it was so intolerable. He was just scratching and scratching. And what happened eventually? Blood. Yeah. So that's what happens. If you don't tolerate, then it becomes a wound. Yeah. So, but if we tolerate, just like, that sex desire will come, it'll go away. Just as it came, it'll go away. Just let it go. Yeah. But our thoughts of Krishna, we don't want to let that go. Don't let that go. And therefore we chant 16 rounds, that's 2 hours. And that's meant to create a momentum so we could think of Krishna. It gets ingrained in us to think of Krishna throughout the day. So this is what we want to think of. Throughout the day, think of Krishna. Think of Prabhupada. Think of devotional service. We want to become very attached to that. And this sense gratification, we want to become completely detached. When it comes, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is our saving grace. This can save us from this poison of material sense gratification. So, any question? Comment? Reflection? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki